to find your own identity. It's one of the hardest things to do. You got to look in the mirror and say, I love you. And that's a fucking hard thing to do, you know? And looking in the mirror and saying, I love you means you love yourself, which means you're proud of yourself. What's going on, guys? It's Dingo. We are going live today, DTLA at the bike shed with Luke Westman. Just came out with Self-Made, his new series on Monster Energy. Maybe I'll get a tattoo, maybe I won't. Let's go.
He does!
So if you had to evacuate,
And we are live on Twitch from the Punk Rock Bowling downtown Las Vegas, baby! So we got two American heroes, two legends, and one person from the boat on Australia that's happy to be here.
Do you think that we're getting better looking as we get older, or do you think we're getting worse looking as we get older?
you know, I have a feeling we're aging really well.
Yeah.
Beautiful up here, Danny! Would it be a bad idea to take a selfie right now? I gotta get the moon and some stars and some other space crap in the background real quick. I got it! My face. Will you put some sunscreen on my back?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, thanks, dude.
Everything has to come to an end, huh?
I'm not ready for it.
We made some new friends. We saw some old friends.
Probably lost a few.
Probably lost a few friends. So I think it's time for us to move on. Where will we go? I don't know.
I don't know. Let's go east.
Let's go east.
We're going east. We're back.
We're going east. Wow, it actually looks like we're not. It looks like we're in, I don't know, the back of a barn. We're not.
No.
No, we are at the Delta Center, which I believe is the Utah Jazz. But it's not the Jazz this weekend, Danny. You know what it is?
It's freaking PBR.
That's right, baby. It's PBR, and we are in the locker room. Brittney, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing, Dingo?
Just,
Stop looking at yourself.
I was checking myself out.
You look good.
We missed you here last night.
I know. You know what? I didn't even know I was invited. I didn't.
And our guest, John Crimber. How you doing, buddy?
Doing good.
You look good.
Thank you.
You feeling good?
Yes, sir. Feel good.
Last night wasn't so good, though.
No, it didn't feel very good after last night, but feeling good today.
How's the body feel?
It's a little sore, but you know, it's part of it.
Yeah.
Gotta be a cowboy. So.
I mean, that is part of being a cowboy. All right, some of your achievements here. Danny, you know, who's the youngest person to win $1 million in PBR and prize money?
I saw that. That's pretty insane.
Did you ever win $1 million total in prize money?
Easy come, easy go.
Danny's two-time Olympic silver medalist.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
They're pretty good.
Yeah. So his
Great.
bull is a snowboard.
Snowboard. I don't kind of want to do that one day, but I'm scared to get hurt. But
You're scared to snowboard, but you're a bull rider.
yes, ma'am. I'm scared to get hurt.
I'm the opposite. I was scared of bull riding because I was watching him and I was like, if I got bucked off one of these bulls, I feel like I would go like 20 feet in the air.
Well, I think I weigh a little less, so I don't go too high in the air, you know.
What's the highest you got thrown up?
I don't know. I've been slammed pretty hard, that's for dang sure, but I don't know how high. Couldn't tell you the exact measurements.
There was a dude last night that got thrown off and up, but it worked out for him. It slingshotted him up, but I feel like it was the safest move
You
to
know,
do.
sometimes getting thrown up in the air is the best thing to do, and then you get a cool get off out of it. So.
Two-time National High School Rodeo Association bull riding champion, 21-22. He goes from youngest person to win $1 million to high school champion.
So yeah, the funny thing is, my last year of high school rodeo was last year in 2023, or was last year 2024?
Yeah, well, the event
Yeah.
winner where he actually lives, Jacksonville, Florida.
Yeah, I did win over there. That was my first event win. So.
Is that what you caught the gator?
No, I caught the gator near there, St. Augustine, about an hour from there.
Next time you're in Florida, you can
You know,
go gator hunting with Danny.
we do go in 2 weeks. So.
You go gator hunting?
Yeah, let's
What's
go.
the biggest gator you ever got?
Me?
Yeah.
I ain't never went gator hunting. I said we're going to Jacksonville for the
there we
PBR.
go. Yeah.
Oh no, I'm scared of gators now. I'm not
Why?
really about that. Why?
Yeah. They're
What
like
do you mean?
bulls
Why?
with teeth, right?
Yeah. I've seen people jump. I have a buddy that lives kind of by Louisiana, and he goes gator hunting and jumps on them and catches them. Yeah, that's not me. I can't do that.
No, it's not me either. I just did it once.
No, we did it
No,
for the
hooked.
TV show. We did it twice.
Oh yeah,
Costa
but
Rica.
we only caught one that was like this big.
Yeah,
in
but we
Costa
canoed
Rica.
around with giant ones.
Yeah, that was pretty scary.
And then we got in the water with the huge one.
Mm.
You've had a pretty big year. 2024 was a big year. A lot going on. What are some of the highlights?
Definitely, showing up to my first PBR World Finals and ended up second. That was probably one of the coolest things for me. Just riding at AT&T Stadium, one of the places I've always wanted to be at, and the highest stage you could be in the bull riding. So that and winning the MVP for sure in the team season. That was one of the goals I had coming in my first year of the PBR professional season. So that's probably it.
So you were born in Brazil.
Born in Decatur, Texas.
Born in Decatur,
Yeah,
Texas.
yes, sir.
Sorry. Family's from Brazil. Moved back to Brazil.
Yes, sir.
For a few years to like learn the culture.
Yes, sir.
Learn language.
We lived there for a little bit. My dad actually broke his neck and had to, retire. So we moved back to Brazil and lived there for a little bit. And I learned Portuguese, went to school there, all that.
And noted, your dad Paulo is a world champion bull rider, Hall of Famer, and I believe a breakdancer.
Yes, sir. He knows a little bit about breakdancing.
I believe we have a video. Do we have a video of that we can run?
Well, he's famous for his finishing dance, right?
Yes, sir. He'd stay on his bull and do a little breakdancing after. I'm going to show them that this is not a different level. This is just another bull ride. No. Today's the day. See, my dad was like, why don't you do it? I was like, Dad, I don't want to, ruin your reputation. This is carrying the name. Yeah, this is ruining it. I'm not going to do this for you, so I'm not going to breakdance.
I believe we have a video here. Is it playing?
5, 4, 3, 2.
This is not a different level. This is just another bull ride. Today's the day I'm going to win the round.
A legend, a coach, a former rider. Of course, you're impressed by the young star, but as a dad, how proud are you of the start to his professional career?
It's another dream come true to me, having him come and do what I did and what brought me to America, and I cannot be more proud than this. He's just a young, great little man, but he just knows what he wants, and he gets it whatever it takes to get it done.
And as he gets climbing over this steel here, I know you're going to spot him. He wants to follow in Dad's footsteps. Does this also mean he's going to follow in the dancing, the celebration after the rides?
I don't think he's going to do the dance. He don't do very good.
He's my dad. I love him, and he's a guy that's been there for me my whole life. So for him to be there to watch me, it's everything for me.
John Crimber.
On my head, the gate opens, and he fires. Oh, I try to fire with him. That first jump, he fakes like he's going right. I'm like, all right, he's going right, and I sit up. And he goes left. My body reacts to his voice. If I hear him say something like "entra," that means get in there, so I'll get in there a little bit more. I sit up again. I'm just thinking, I'm like, spur him, just spur him. Let's kick loose and start having fun again. I hear the 8 seconds. I did it. What I've been waiting for my whole career, to get my first qualified ride in the UTV.
There is his first qualified ride at this level. John Crimber has arrived.
Before I crawled in the buck and chute, I heard Kate Harrison talk to my dad about how I don't do the dance and stuff, and I was like, you know what, today I'm gonna do it.
And how about that?
Hey, Daddy does have the
Dad.
moves. He's got the moves.
And I did it. I did it for my dad.
And this is what we've been waiting on. This is what we've been waiting to see is John Crimber get here, cut loose, and do what we've been waiting for him to do. This guy right here, I'm going to go ahead and say it. That's the greatest 18-year-old bull rider on the planet Earth right now.
That
Wow.
was great.
That was
You
incredible.
got to do that dance again. That was great.
You gotta do that move again. Yeah.
No, I can't.
Come on.
I can't. I told myself after that day I was going to embarrass my dad, so we're not going to do that again.
I don't think you embarrassed your dad. I think you did quite good.
Yeah.
I think you made your dad very proud.
Well, that's good. I didn't think he was very proud, but the dance moves, but the ride he was proud.
The riding was
Yeah,
very
no.
proud.
It must be so cool though, like with him holding your shoulder, like to have your father be the one that's like really protecting you. Does it feel like, I mean, you said that when we were watching it, that you mostly have people in your corner, but having your dad must be such a special experience. Right?
Yes, ma'am. Last year, was my first year going, and having my dad there, because I grew up and he's always helped me out, and having him there with me in the highest stage you can be and somewhere I wanted to always be at, is pretty special for me, for sure.
When you were younger, did you tell your dad, I want to be a bull rider, or was it something that your dad kind of helped push you?
That was something I've always wanted to do. My dad actually never was the one to push me into it. I grew up and I've always said I was going to be a bull rider. My first actual words when I was growing up as a kid was bull. That was my first word.
No
I ever
shit,
said. Yeah,
really?
Yeah, so that's something I've always wanted to do and something I've always had in my mind to be.
That's amazing.
How does mom do with obviously you're being around your father, growing up with that, and then now you're getting into bull riding? How does she handle it?
She kind of experienced the highs and lows with my dad. So with me, it's more of she already learned how to handle it, and now any situation she knows how to kind of handle everything as well too. So
yeah,
she says she doesn't get too nervous, but I can tell she does.
I bet she's really nervous.
No, yeah.
In that video, we had obviously the slow-mo of the hands, but I was explaining that for you guys, the way that you guys get judged is your hand, you can't touch the bull at all.
No, sir. Yeah, you can't touch the bull for 8 seconds, and it's one hand down, one hand up, and if you do end up touching the bull before the 8 seconds, you're just
it wipes the score out,
yes,
right?
Sir.
Oh, wow.
And I only because it took me a while before I realized that was what was going on. That's got to be so hard too, mentally, not because your hand is sitting there, it's getting so close to that thing. And you're just like, no, you're kind of like fighting your hand back.
Yeah, sir. Sometimes, it kind of helps you to protect yourself sometimes, but it's something where you got to be mentally tough to not touch the bull. So.
See, and that's what I was saying. When it's going fast like that, when it's in slow-mo, it looks like everything's under control, and then it actually goes to real time, and that bull is bucking.
Yeah, it's
fast.
It's fast, and you're going fast, but that's what we kind of, train for every day is to control ourselves and doing the right motion.
It's like poetry.
That's what.
So
that's
I think
what
we
like.
have which one's yours?
Right there with the monster glove, right there. Yes, sir.
So this is technically.
Yeah, that's my baby. She's a little too old right now, actually.
It does look pretty
old.
Do you name them?
I just think that the bull rope is like a woman, like you got to treat it like a woman. Nice, take care of it. I mean, right now it's a little rough, but it's not good.
So
but
she needs a
little cleaning. Yeah, she's beautiful though.
So explain to us what's going to happen, like how this works. This gets wrapped around.
So
put it on, Dingo.
Yeah, let's put it on your back.
You want to put it on my back?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
That'd be pretty funny. No,
it's
so.
possible.
This right here is the handle we hold on to.
Yep.
And then this is the tail.
Yep.
This always goes through there.
But this isn't there, right?
So that's the bells. That's honestly for the rope to come off.
Yep.
It's mandatory to have that.
Yep.
So then put your hand in here. Then once that goes through there, you pull your bull rope. Put one hand right there. Just kind of one motion, just. Then, bam.
And that's it.
That's what you hold on to.
Yep, and then you just say, "Let's go."
And that is an important grip. Like that's.
Yes, ma'am. This is the start of everything. Tying your hand in there. You kind of want to have. Some people they tie their hand different. Some people like sticking their hand all the way in there and kind of rolling it. Me personally, I like sticking it just kind of halfway right there, just so I can have a little bit more movement to
Look
it.
how worn in this thing is.
And is there like stickiness to
Oh
it?
yeah, yes sir. It's
Okay, so you don't want like, and what about the release? Like when you want to get out
that's
of it?
when, so putting too much rosin on there, that's what it's called. It's
Yep.
rosin. I really don't know what it's made of, but keeps your hand.
Organic,
It keeps
for
your hand.
sure.
Yeah, it's organic. Keeps your hand in there, but it's just something to have. Honestly, it helps sometimes on that second effort. You gotta hold on a little bit longer to get that 8 seconds. To let go, sometimes you can't just open your hand. You gotta pull your tail, and then boom, just check out.
Okay.
Yes, sir. But that bull strength is, it's all there. You can feel it.
And you're wrapping this around. How heavy are the bulls you're riding?
They can be anywhere from 1,500 to 2,000. So, yeah, it's pretty big.
Do you prefer a big bull or a small bull?
Them big bulls, they're a little intimidating sometimes.
They're fucking scary.
But honestly, I ride better when I'm like, all right, I got a pretty big one, so I stay on those better than the little ones.
I was noticing last night, it seemed like some of the bulls are smaller than usual.
Yes, sir.
Is that true?
Well, sometimes, honestly, a bunch of them bulls are from where I'm from in Texas, and the drive up here to Utah, it's a lot different climate and stuff, and sometimes they feel it a little bit, and you got to feed them a little too much, feed them different.
Are most of the bulls live in Texas?
A lot of them live
The
around there.
competitive bulls.
Yes, sir. They live in Texas or Oklahoma, around there. Yes, sir.
Why's that?
That's just bull country was what we call it. That's where they all come from.
So you grew up your whole life, you're a ranching kid. You started on like small, like real small bulls?
So my first ever, I was 3 years old when I got on my first sheep, and then
Started with a sheep?
and then 6 years old that was my first bull. It was he was about.
Does a sheep buck?
No, they just ran pretty fast. They were pretty fast. They
Here, we
didn't
can
buck.
put this back.
And would you kind of run a similar strap for the sheep? at
It's
that
the
time, or
same. Yeah, it was just a smaller bull rope, and tied my hand in there, rode one-handed, and everything was kind of the same. It was just sheep. You could say, yeah.
What's it like when you get into the corral with them? Like when you're in the gate, and you're loading onto them. Like what kind is going through your mind? Are you like?
I try not to think about it too much. It's just something I try to go back to. I've been here before. I've prepared myself to be in the situation, so nothing should change. So I just go in there and kind of clear mind. And I like listening to the crowd and listen to the announcers talk a little bit. It kind of fires me up, and just go out there and try to do my job.
Because how long will you be in there with them?
So
I know you get
it's 90. We get 90 seconds
Okay.
in the chute once you get in there, and you 90 seconds to do whatever you want. Get ready, and if you take too long, the judges, it's called the clock, 30 second. Like they'll cut it out, and if you're kind of jacking around there, you'll get put on the clock for 30 seconds, and then once you're on the clock, you got to nod. There's no going back. They can be standing horrible. It's just kind of you try to avoid that, but I try not to stay in there too long. I really don't like messing around. I try to get in and get out just so I don't think about it too much.
And then once you know which bull you're gonna ride, will you go eye them up, or do you kind of eye them all up before when you guys are coming in?
I just kind of check them out. I check them out.
Because I noticed
every now
there's a couple
Yeah.
of them have a weird big old neck bump, and
Oh,
some
yeah.
are different shaped. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
you're
sure.
kind of eyeing them up, being all right, this is where I want to be on that bull.
So yeah, I'll sometimes look at the bull just to see how he's built. Sometimes there's some bulls that their backbones go straight, it's uphill. That's what we call uphill. We don't like that. We like one that's just flat and everything. If everything looks good, that's what I like to see. I don't like one that kind of isn't built good. It just kind of doesn't feel good to begin with. So.
And it's true that you don't get to choose which bull.
No, ma'am.
They are assigned to.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
It's first 2 rounds is a random draw. Then the short round, you actually do get to choose by your aggregate score. So if you stay on 2 and you get marked pretty high, you're probably going to end up getting first pick, and that's what you want to do and win the event. So
So when you're so say you get to that first pick, like what do you look for in the bull that you're choosing? Like, is it like you said, like sometimes the bigger ones are better for you? Maybe you don't want the bulge in it. Like, what is your criteria of the bull that you want?
Whenever in the draft, like I try to pick the one that's gonna give me the highest score, that's gonna fit my style. If I'm in the bottom though, I try to go for the smaller ones.
Yeah.
Just cause like I don't know, it's just something about it. Just something about them little bulls. They just look cute back there.
I'd be going for those little bulls.
Oh yeah, that's
100%. If I had
Do a little one?
if I had to get on the bull, I would.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I would, but if I had to, I would go for a smaller bull. I don't know why.
I'd go for a
I
smaller
just
bull.
feel like I'd be like, that thing would just buck me off as soon as, right?
Seems
That
like those
could be,
little ones
yeah.
got so much energy though too.
But that's
man.
what I was
They're
gonna
like
say.
kicking butt back and forth. I mean, they're
Yeah.
going crazy too.
Them little bulls, they do sometimes have buck harder than the
Yeah.
bigger ones. Just because the bigger bulls sometimes it's too much weight, and then they're just gonna be good. But smaller bulls, they kind of.
What's the like career span of like a professional bull?
You know, so they'll start with a rider around 3 years old, 3 to 4, and then, you know, some bulls buck till 8, 9.
Yeah.
8 years old, they're still in their prime, and then about 10, they start getting a little older, and 12, maybe 11, around there, they try to retire them.
And then like when they're like developing them, is it like one of those things where they kind of leave them out in pasture, like no one can ride it because you want it to be a wild bucking animal, right? You don't want it to be like
So
comfortable with people on its
I mean,
back.
bunch of bulls, honestly, you can just go back there and pet them, and they're nice. And
Yeah.
But like if they're going to buck and they're raised to be bucking bulls, they should know what they're doing. And like growing up, they start with the dummy, which is just a little like a metal box they put on their back and kind of straps on them, and just to kind of a quick release too. So they just kind of learn what they're doing.
Okay, so they're trained to like get it off their
Yes,
back
sir.
as soon
So,
as possible.
like if a bull, once he starts turning back, they click that quick release, so they get their confidence built, and then once they hit that 3-year-old stage where it's time for a rider, and they just kind of know what they're doing.
And
They live lives like pro athletes. They're basically essentially a pro athlete.
They get treated better than us, I think.
They do?
Oh yeah, they do. I think so. Yeah, so they get fed every day, and they get scratches. I like a scratch. Some scratches.
You want me to
know?
scratch you?
Please. You know?
I can scratch you.
Yeah, no, they're dang sure treated a lot better than us for sure.
Yeah, they're a very unique animal, and then the way that like that they are treated with you guys, it's wild. Who are you? Do you know who you're riding tonight?
Yes, sir. His name's Kill Switch. He was actually one bull before me yesterday. I don't know. Did you watch last night?
I was there.
Did you watch the bull right before me?
Yeah.
That's the one I got.
Right.
Yeah, he looked pretty good. He bucked good. I've seen his stats are
You
pretty.
haven't ridden him before?
No, sir. I saw him last night. He looked good. I looked at his stats, and they were marked him pretty high. So.
How does practice, or how do you guys? Is training just basically getting on a bull, or is there like the old school mechanical bull? Is that like part of training?
So me personally, I like going to the gym, working out, but I try not to lift too much weights. I try to be more of a just kind of slimmer guy, but still built good, just to take the hits sometimes. But
You're like a little rock.
I'd say so. That makes me feel good.
And then your strength. What did Cowboy do? Cowboy tore his bicep.
Yeah, biceps right here.
That's like
from obviously holding.
Yes, ma'am.
So he should have let go.
I think it's just out of nowhere. He just got probably yanked on one time, and I bet he just. I think they said he messed it up before.
He really wanted to do it. What do you think would have happened if he actually did it?
Look, personally, I think that was the worst idea
Yeah.
to happen to put him on a bull. Like, just the problem was the bulls he was practicing on was not going to compare to the one he's getting on at AT&T Stadium, and that bull. I mean, if I was him, I would choose something way easier, And he just called him out and said, "I want that one." And I said, "Well, dang,
Wait, what bull was he gonna ride? He was gonna ride Dana's bull.
Yeah, Dana White's
Right?
bull.
Yeah.
That bull died.
Yes, he did.
How did he?
He broke his back, unfortunately. Yeah, that was pretty bad. I think it was while he was bucking, and it's just a freak accident. And unfortunately,
Gosh.
sometimes them bulls, it just happens. It's
Right.
part of
What was the bull's name again?
Twisted Steel.
There you go. You're good.
Yeah, well.
R.I.P. Twisted Steel.
I know a thing or two.
I met Twisted Steel in Madison Square Garden.
Really?
Yeah. I was there when they ran him in, and that's when Cowboy met the bull for the first time, and he shit himself. He didn't say anything, but he looked at that thing and was like, what have I got myself into? So, touch wood, I'm glad that he's okay now, but I'm glad that he kind of did get hurt, because that could have been really bad.
It was probably the best but worst thing.
Because he's one of those guys that he's not going to ever say no.
Yes, sir. He's gonna, he's a UFC fighter.
He's an adrenaline junkie.
World champion, yeah.
He's
a straight adrenaline junkie.
Yeah, motorbikes, junkie. And he wants to do all of it.
Yeah.
And that bull was not gonna stop. UFC fighting. Them guys, bell rings, done. Yeah, no, it's you open that gate, you don't know what's.
And I also
happen.
wonder, with, and maybe I'm incorrect here, but the age of Donald, is there an age where it's like a little bit more dangerous, obviously, for you to be riding bulls? I mean, Cowboy is what, 30, almost 40?
He's like my age.
Yeah, I mean, and then also the wear and tear on his body from being a UFC fighter, right? Like the punches and like the things that he's taken over the years.
Juice.
Right, so then your muscles are even more, they're delicate right now. But does...
He's open about it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he loves it. Is there like an age, do you age out of bull riding?
Yes, ma'am. Honestly, some guys, there's one guy on tour that he's 41, but he is fit. Like he's been, he's kind of prepared himself to ride this long. And a guy like Cowboy, he's been injured so many times, like you said, fighting and stuff. And 30, 38, 40 years old, I think that's a little too old. Yes.
How old are you now?
19.
You're 19. That's wild.
Was there a conversation, just one more on, like when Cowboy came into this, like was there kind of a conversation with all of you guys, like this MMA fighter trying to be, like was it some kind of a...
I mean, yes ma'am, a little bit. It just kind of, it's one of them bulls that we already personally don't like getting on because he was hard to ride, and just kind of watching a guy going, challenging that bull basically, like, hey, I want to get on that one. We're like, well, all right, then, there you go. Let your nuts hang, I guess, buddy. But let me tell you, I don't know how it's going to go.
Your fighting name's Cowboy, but I don't know about your bull riding name, right?
But he was, I don't know, but it was interesting. But it was kind of something, I'm kind of not glad, but it's probably the best thing for him getting hurt.
Yeah. And I'm sure you've kind of seen that like throughout, just being around these bulls where like people come out of the woodworks and they're like, oh, I'm going to be a bull rider. I got to get on this one, like Jackass style.
Yeah, no, it's those people, they kind of hurt my brain a little bit.
They
just
do.
kind of like watching them, they just think sometimes it's kind of a joke, but once you open that gate, there's no stopping what's going to happen. So it's kind of dumb to do something that you're not prepared for. It's like me going, maybe I want to you snowboard, right?
Yeah, but then you're going to jump off a 100-foot cliff the first day.
Yeah, why would I do that?
As opposed to just like learning how to, hit a small jump.
Slow. Yeah, I want the little slopes.
You got a question, Brittney?
We have a couple questions in the chat. One was, do bull riders work out? And you did mention that you go to the gym and you train weights. Is there like a 1 or 2 a day type workout regimen that you do?
I try to. I mean, every Mondays. Usually, I'm kind of recovering everything. I have a guy over there by my house that he has a gym, and he's kind of physical therapist as well. So I just go to his place and gets me going, feeling good. And then Tuesdays we kind of go hard, and then Wednesday and Thursday it's kind of more like just moving around and getting feeling good. And like usually I leave on Thursdays. I go and just kind of move around a little bit and get everything worked on before I leave and get on a plane. So.
Yep. And then another question, which I always love this question, what kind of playlist do you put on leading up to getting in the chute? What are some of the things that get you ready to ride, some songs that get you ready to ride?
I got my old turtle box here, and I'll listen to, just some Young Boy. I'm more of a rapper guy. Nice. Young Boy, Eminem, Lil Wayne. But then I'll listen to, like, some country music, I enjoy it. I listen to a little bit of everything. Brazilian music, I love Brazilian music too. And
yeah, I understand it.
Just anything I'm feeling in the mood for.
I feel Lil Wayne could do a country. He could go into a country era.
I mean, it seems like anyone can now.
Yeah. Post Malone, he switched it up.
He did good. I feel like Post Malone is like he's
border.
He's his own genre of music.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not like he's a style.
I
He's his
wasn't
own-
shocked by that. Like I wasn't like, whoa, Post Malone's doing country. I was like, checks
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
All right, guys. We have a few minutes before we have to go to break. We actually have a sports clock right here, which is actually quite handy. Brittney, those questions come from the chat, guys. If you want to ask questions to John, jump in the chat. Also, Danny and Brittney. When we come back, we'll jump into it more. But we're going to talk more about Florida Freedom and the team
Yes,
you're
sir.
on, the team your dad runs.
Perfect.
And the whole team's situation that is now into its third year, I believe.
Yes, sir.
And you're riding for that team tonight. All right, we'll go to break and we'll be right back.
Are you ready for Monstrosity Supercross?
Tómale poquito a mi brugalito, pa' la nena soy un caballito. Coge lo que va sin jockey, jockey. Ven, mami, vámonos pa' Miami. Ella es mexicana, pero parece tsunami. Se viste de Armani, bien cabrón, y se lo quitan un encerrón. Sacúdelo.
And we are back live from the Delta Center, Salt Lake City. Danny, Brittney, and John Crimber sitting here. It is day 2 of PBR. So traditionally, I feel like MS, some days are 2 days and some days are 3 days. Why is that?
It's just part of the schedule.
Part of the schedule.
Yeah,
So we're on a 2-day stop last night. Didn't go so well. Tonight's going to go a lot better for you, though.
You're dang right.
What do we have? Kill switch?
Kill switch.
We're going to nail Kill
Yes, sir.
Switch
It's
tonight.
going to be good. Yes, sir.
Before the break, we guys, if you have any questions, jump in for Brittney. We got 30 minutes left with John. We're going to talk about your dad owns or is part of and the coach of Florida Freedom Team. You're 3 years into the teams now. What's your opinion on teams versus individual?
So last year, it was kind of my first year experience of the individual and the teams. It was different, for sure, because you're not just relying on yourself to win. It's the other guys there. And it was really cool just experiencing that. That was the first time, board riding's never really had a team aspect of it. It's a more of individual, but they kind of, brought this up 3 years ago. And I think it's going to involve a lot of board riders, just because it's going to probably help them ride longer than they expected,
Yeah. So how does so on a night like tonight, did you get to go out and wear like your own gear, and then you have to switch, and then you wear team gear? How does that work?
So yes, sir. So you have to, when it's your team riding that weekend.
Yep.
You have to ride in your team gear. But the next day, if you don't have to, it's just what you prefer.
And with the team now kind of like also taking place, does this mean you get like more rides in like a night like tonight, kind of going into the final round?
Yeah, so a bunch of people, like last night, they had the teams, Arizona versus Oklahoma Wildcatters. They played, and they get 6 guys apiece, so they add 12 more board riders to the roster, so you get a little bit more action on the night.
Okay, so and is that kind of exciting or scary to ride more bulls like throughout the weekend?
I mean, it's about the same as we get on. Me personally, I like getting on more bulls, so I enjoy it for sure.
Well, that's good because it's the start of your career. You got a long career to go.
Yes, sir. I hope so. That's the plan.
How do you deal with the pressure? There's doing what you've done at such a young age. You seem to handle the pressure pretty well. I feel like you grew up around this world, so it's almost like growing up in the locker room time style, like. People like Steph Curry or Patrick Mahomes, these people grew up literally around sports their whole lives, and I feel like for you, this is just another day at the office. But you seem to handle it pretty well.
I tried to. The pressure just comes with. They said being good, you're gonna have to learn how to handle it. So I just try to handle it in kind of every which way. I try to use it in my advantage. Like I seen a deal, John Jones, he's talking about how butterflies in the stomach, how he loves feeling that, getting that feeling, and I love it. I love it when people are just around me, cameras around me, it just means I'm doing something, doing something good, so I try to handle it in the good way, in a positive way, instead of, making me fold under pressure, so.
Right.
And how exciting is it, though? I mean, from like what you guys do within training, you're kind of like, on a ranch or maybe in a gym, and then you get to come to like this stadium, which is freaking packed with people, going crazy, lights and fireworks. I mean, is it just like a whole different world?
Oh yeah, it's a lot different. It's from going to from the house and getting on bulls to somewhere like this, and on a weekend, it's pretty special. Just because I honestly get more fired up whenever some crowd's going crazy and everyone's cheering for us, and it's something you got to take it in a positive way, like I said. Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's so cool because, like, you think of like the ranch life and like all the cowboys, but like, in normal life you're kind of walking around and doing your own thing, and then you get to come in here and be like an absolute superstar.
Yeah,
where it's like people are coming from all over.
For sure, yeah. Like, I mean, we got to ride at Madison Square Garden. I never in my life would have thought I'd be doing that, and just going into some places like that, and here at the Delta Center, it's like the Utah Jazz play here, so it's like a team I've watched too and watch basketball, so I'm like, it's pretty dang cool as well. So
that's
a lot of big
cool.
changes in basketball right now.
Yeah,
a lot of changes
you
this
see
week.
That
was crazy.
Luka
Holy
and AD.
Shit, we woke up and all of a sudden everybody's on a different team.
Yeah, I'm from Texas, but I don't claim to be a Texas team fans.
Who do you follow then? Oklahoma?
Man, no, I'm like college. What are we talking about here?
NBA.
NBA, man. I'm a Lakers fan. I like old LeBron James.
Go.
Yeah, I like LeBron. We got to ride there last year in LA.
I was there for that too.
That's pretty
cool.
cool.
We were there for that. Yeah, that's an iconic.
And I think they just put the Kobe statue up there when we went there, so that was really cool. So yeah, that's more.
We have a couple questions in here. Someone wants to know, is your style different from your dad's?
Like riding style?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I try to mimic him in certain ways. I think there is a little bit of different difference in him. He was more of a stronger guy, and he rode a lot stronger than me. I'm more of a on bull. I'm more looser and relaxed, but he's pretty dang good. So I try to mimic him. In
Not a bad person to mimic.
Yeah, I try to.
How
be
helpful
like him.
is that though? Like with having your dad in your corner, someone who's really done, the whole 20-year career of it. Like, is there tips he gives you that like?
Oh yeah, 100%. I think
that hit hard.
Like if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be where I'm at today, because he's been there and done that. He's been, like I said, through the highs and lows. He broke his neck twice, and just a guy that's been there and done that. It's kind of good to have him at your house and just ask questions, because he knows what he's talking about sometimes. And just some things he told me to handle the pressure, because it's gonna come with. He's told me it's gonna come whenever you ride good. So just cameras, they're gonna be around you. You just got to learn how to handle it. And I think that's been one of the biggest things. Is just kind of always told me to focus on yourself on the bull, but let everything happen around you, but just focus on yourself.
You currently have a broken back.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
You currently have a broken back.
Yes, ma'am. Yep. I have a broke back. I fractured my L3 and L4 on my back a couple weeks ago. So it's my first week in back. But
oh wow. Yeah. What are you doing for the rehabilitation on that?
Just first week was kind of rough. Didn't walk around too much. I had to sleep on my little. This is a couch, and just kind of lay back a little bit.
Standing.
Yeah, it hurt a little bit to lay down, so it was kind of a rough week. But then after that, just worked out every day and got on some bulls, and just kind of getting my core and my back stronger, because that's really bull riding. You kind of want to be stronger in your core and your back, because that's what kind of balances you around. So that's what I've been doing and trying to get better at that. So
how was? Hey Doc, I want to come back this week. How did that go?
I didn't even call. My dad actually called him. It wasn't even me.
It was Dad.
Yeah.
So we don't even know.
Oh, you're good when Dad calls Doc.
I was like, hey, Dad, I'm getting on this week. He's like, what? Are you sure? I was like, everything feels good. Why not? So, I went, and on Monday, I went to the physical therapist guy, and he said, I mean, if you want to get on, I guess do it, but it's not really the smartest thing to do. But I was like, well, what's the pros and cons? He said, okay, well, look, the only bad part is if you get stepped on, it's going to be from 4 weeks to probably a couple months. So I was like, okay, so don't get stepped on.
Yeah, all right. Cross that off.
What else? What
are the pros?
Yeah, well, let's go. So he said, look, if you're feeling good, do it, I guess. But he didn't really recommend it, but I was like, I had in my mind that $1 million isn't going to win itself, so I got to go out there and put in the work and come back as soon as possible.
How hard is it to stop riding and needing that urge? Like even with your dad, when's the last time he rode?
Oh shoot, I bet it was 2012.
Okay.
Long time.
And do you guys ever have to talk him out of wanting to get back just on, and not even in the stadium, but just to do it again?
Man, there's a little while there he's wanting to get on. He actually, he actually got on 2016. That was his last bull. He wanted to get on. Just he had that craving again, and he felt good, but just his back pains were a little too much, and he just couldn't do it. So he kind of told himself he couldn't do it no more. But me, 2 weeks. It felt like 2 years. It was horrible. I can't just sit there and not do nothing, because I work at it every day, and it's something I'm trying to perfect something. So it was horrible not being able to do what I love every day. So because I'm not really the smartest guy, so if it's not bull riding, I don't know what I'm gonna do with my life. So
we'll get you on a snowboard. You'll be fine.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm scared of that. Yeah.
Listen, I think bull riding's working out just fine for you. What it's in a new era of team. What's your favorite era of PBR?
I like it when Jose and Jess Lockwood is 2019. That was probably one of the coolest ones. In 2013 when JB and Silvano Alves. I don't know if you remember.
JB Mooney?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was probably one of the coolest eras.
Yeah.
Tell me.
I remember that. That's young for you.
I was there actually when he won his world title in 2013.
How old were you?
You
were 12?
No. Yeah, I was young buck. I know that. I think I was 11.
Two not very smart people. Over here.
Yeah. Don't ask me about math. I'm not very good
We can
at
only
it.
count to 8.
Yeah, the JB Mooney era was a big era. And then what about Brazil? Because I feel like it's just as big as Brazil as it is here. It's kind of same as Australia, where I grew up.
Yes,
it's
sir.
like bull riding. It's actually getting bigger.
Yeah, in Australia it is actually getting
Have
bigger
you ridden
too.
Australia yet?
You know, I never have, but hopefully this year I'm going to.
We're trying to figure it out to go there. PBR is doing a really good job of what they're doing over there.
Yes, sir.
What would you? That's actually a good question. What do you think is who are the best bull riders? Brazilians, Australians, Americans, Mexicans?
I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of talent that come from Brazil, but it's about Americans and Brazilians are probably the two best ones that I hear that are going. So, and let me tell you something. There's an Australian here that's pretty damn good. So
he's pretty good.
Yeah. So that's probably one of the better ones we've seen in a long time. So.
And then he's on the full circuit, right?
The teams.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was part of the Texas Rattlers. They won a world title the second year. I'm pretty sure teams.
Who's leading the team series this year?
Well, this past year was Austin Gamblers won it. Yeah. That's who it was.
Here's a good one. What's the biggest misconception about bull riding out there?
A lot of people think we tie the bulls nuts. You know
I thought you did.
What?
I'm just kidding.
Shoot. No.
I was looking last night. I didn't see many nuts.
No, they
Are they there or they're not?
Oh, they're there.
Why do people
They're
think
there.
that? So what was the conception that people actually tie the bull's nuts so they buck higher?
Yeah, they thought
they're
that.
pissed?
They thought that it was something that made them buck harder. I'm telling you, if I had my balls tied up, I probably wouldn't do much.
No.
Yeah, I'd probably just lay there and.
Who made that up? The bulls?
No, just a bunch of.
Well, I
Just a
think
bunch
that's
of
how they
people.
castrate them, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
You know, or at least in
yeah,
Catalan, where they'll like tie them up until they cut them.
So yeah, some people do that. Some people just cut them off, and yeah, I've been part of Brandon. You know, like at the house we'll go and once we have to day work or something, we'll have to castrate them, brand them, and all that. And it's kind of simple. You just cut the bump.
I know it's not a place you want to be, but is it like? Are you ever worried you're going to get hit by the balls and nuts?
I actually got
Wall under the under it.
I've been teabagged before.
You've been teabagged.
Yep,
By the bull?
Yes, sir. Unfortunately, yep.
Whoa.
Yeah.
A guy got teabagged last night. It was Boudreaux's. When Boudreaux, see that guy get the clown?
Yeah.
That kid was shook.
Hey.
You got you weren't
Oh,
there,
yeah.
Brittney. So Boudreaux, after he's run, the bull bucked, and then the bull ran over one of the clowns.
Yeah, threw him up in the air.
Like put him up.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
We have to get one of those clowns on the show one day. Like, I have so many questions.
Yo, I had a friend with me last night too. The first question he's like, how much that clown make? I'm like, I don't know how
great
much
question.
clown
They should be
makes.
getting paid because
A
damn.
lot.
They do, but I think they don't get paid as much as they deserve for sure.
Nah, that
'Cause
dude, that kid's face last night, he didn't know what had happened.
Wow.
they do save our lives.
That's a very, I would say that's one of the most dangerous jobs in the world.
100%. They're risking their life to save ours. So.
Yeah.
Like you seen last night, that guy, he just stayed right in front of that bull, lifted him up, and stepped on him.
I noticed that some bulls are just out and then straight back in, and then there are actually bulls out there that seem like they're teasing.
Yeah, they don't like to go out sometimes. They'll just sit there and look around. Maybe their first time in town or something, just.
They're not used to the
Not to you.
they're not used to the
Yes,
people.
sir. Yeah, so just depends on the bull, but.
It's gonna be interesting from the bull's perspective, right?
They're famous. They're like, everybody's here for
The
me.
bull knows that it's famous.
Quit stealing my spotlight.
Yeah.
Like, you want a
You know
show,
what I
I'll
mean?
give
It's
you a
like,
show.
yeah, he's like, you know how many followers I have on Instagram, motherfucker?
It is nice when they kind of do like a little victory loop.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I like the ones that tease, kind
Yeah.
of tease the clowns.
Yeah, no, I don't like it. It's kind of scary sometimes, trying to hook us and stuff.
Yeah.
But.
Have you been hooked bad?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I've been hooked pretty bad before. Broke my eye socket before. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It was a pretty rough deal, but.
How old were you when that happened?
17, yeah. It was right before I started my professional career in PBR.
That's a good way to start it.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I thought I was blind. I didn't know what was going on.
How was the recovery on that?
So funny
That
story.
wasn't 2 weeks.
So listen, it was
Because that was 3 weeks.
no, it was actually no weeks. I got on that. I got on that weekend.
That doesn't surprise me.
So I broke my eye socket at a bull riding, and I had to go to my high school state finals that weekend to make it to nationals. So I had a ride, and I went to the doctor and got X-rays, and I was at the hospital in Nebraska when it first happened, and I was asking him, I'm like, what's going on? He's like, oh, broke your eye socket. I was like, oh, just a couple weeks, we're good, huh? She said, couple weeks, couple months. I was like, oh no, that's not gonna work. And she's like, no, you have to. I was like, no. We'll go to a different doctor. And I went to one right by the house, and I had to get on.
Which doctor?
I went over there and asked him everything what was going on. He said, look, John, your whole bottom part of your eye socket's gone. Like, you have to get surgery and put plates on there, or your eye's gonna dupe down, it's gonna be like this.
Yeah, you don't want that. You're a good-looking kid, too. So you don't want to ruin that.
I feel like I'm a good-looking kid.
No, you're a good-looking kid.
There we go.
One doctor turns it down. He's like, Dad, get another doctor.
Yeah, he told me, he said, look, you can get on this weekend. Nothing worse is going to happen. But after that, you got to get surgery. I said, all right, perfect. Went to state finals that weekend, and I had stitches here, and my eye was bloodshot red. Like, it was pretty rough. I looked like RoboCop or something.
Nothing wrong with that. Hey, so I noticed last night there were some guys riding without a helmet. Is there like a non-helmet? I didn't realize there's a non-helmet policy in Utah.
I mean, you got to be. If they kind of set up a rule where if you're born past 1994,
right,
you got to ride in a helmet.
So the old guys are the stupid ones.
Yes, sir.
That's like me with snowboarding, man. Like I was in that era where we just grew up with not riding with helmets, and I still today don't really ride with a helmet, and it's stupid.
It is stupid. You ride fast.
But I grew up. That's just how I grew up. I grew up not wearing a helmet, so I kind of
got used to it.
I still don't wear a helmet.
But you don't really fall either.
Yeah, I mean, if I was doing something dangerous, I guess I would wear a helmet. I don't know. I see that Danny wears a helmet now all the time.
I don't wear a helmet all the time.
You don't?
No.
I didn't see him in Aspen in the helmet, did you?
No. I got a helmet. But I haven't put it on yet.
Put it on.
But I'm not trying tricks and stuff to the level
but
where
like,
I'm like, yeah.
what, in a certain trick or something, would you put on a helmet, or how would that work?
Well, I was kind of in that era of born before '94.
Yeah.
So, I mean, no, like really, like you just got used to doing all this stuff in your normal gear, and then when it was like helmets became mandatory, it was like, all right, well, this is kind of weird, you know, like
it feels
it's kind of
awkward,
bouncing around or whatever. But you get used to it.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. So I would definitely.
Do you recommend the helmet?
I do recommend a helmet. Well, some people are they're head heavy.
Yeah.
You know, some people are prone to hitting their head quite a bit.
Are you head heavy?
You know?
I'm head heavy.
Where I always
you have
like
the helmet
cat-like.
that has the eyes in it, right? Don't you have the goggle helmet?
No. I just put my goggles on top of my helmet.
But if I was getting on a bull or a sheep,
no helmet.
I would wear a helmet for sure. Yeah, I'd wear a helmet on a sheep.
I
Maybe not a sheep.
I like the sheep. I'll get on a sheep before I get on a bull.
What? What?
That's how you learn.
Well, what if I got
but
you
like
a dummy bull that was just going to walk out of the gate?
I'd find
so
a
everyone
big,
thinks
fat
that
sheep,
something
and
big
I'd
is going to
just
happen.
fucking yank
dummy
onto that
bull?
thing.
Well, like a
I'd want one of those
like
12-year-old
starting to
bulls, the
buck?
retired ones that are
what's like a
stop
lame
bucking.
one, like a cow?
Oh yeah.
I want him to
take
open
a
up
cow.
the gate and just come out on a cow.
Yeah,
you know?
we'll do that for you.
Yeah.
We could set it up
probably
and get you on a bull. I'll go to the sale barn and buy something that's just looks
that.
old, you know.
Yeah.
We can even put her on a bull.
You said like 12 or 13. That's when they stop bucking?
Well,
It's perfect age.
I don't think they ever stop.
Well, yeah, they might stop bucking, but they might buck a little harder. You never know.
You never know.
Before we go, because we got to go soon, we have our next guest. But points. And what I wanted to get at with is with a guy wearing a helmet and a guy not wearing a helmet. Like last night, I think there was one guy, right?
Yes, sir. Is in the teams.
In the teams, is he going to score higher points by not wearing a helmet?
Look, me personally, if I was a judge, yes, I'd mark a guy way
That's
higher.
what I figured. It looks cool.
No, it's.
But it's not.
No, sir. There's nothing to do with that. I just think it looks cool. You know, a guy smashing his hat down.
I mean, that's
on
a real
bucker.
cowboy, right?
That's a gosh dang cowboy.
I looked up and I was like, that motherfucker's not wearing a helmet.
No, it's something that they, you know, like you said, grew up and got used to riding in a hat. So why use it now? So.
And then talking about style and points, because that kind of does go into it. So you've got your 8 seconds, which is you need to get 8 seconds.
Yes, sir.
So without the 8 seconds, your hand can't touch the ball.
No, sir.
And then where do the rest of the points come from?
Just how much control you're having on top of that bull. Me personally, I like spurring a bull. That's kind of what gets them points out of some, like them bulls that aren't too good. Like you can turn an 86 pointer to 89 point bull by just spurring a bull. I've done sometimes the bull's marked to be 40. So it'd be 41 or 42. They'd be 84 pointer.
Yep.
But I turned that into 88, 89 pointer just by showing how much control I have. So it's something that the points. That's when, if you want to be one of the better guys out there, you're going to try to get the most points as possible. So.
Like on Kill Switch tonight.
Yeah. On Kill Switch tonight, it's going to be 89, 90 points.
Danny, we have some lightning round questions before we finish up here.
What's this lightning round thing?
Danny does this thing where he just kind of like quick riff, quick answers. You don't need to think too much about it. Yeah, chug your monster. Come on, John.
Okay, favorite Western movie of all time?
Lonesome Dove.
Best bull rider besides your dad in history?
J.B. Mooney.
Best rodeo snack, churros or funnel cake?
Churros.
One thing people would be surprised to know about you.
I play Fortnite.
How many battle royales have you won?
4.
4. Out of how many
Do you
games?
travel with a PlayStation?
Oh yeah, I travel. I got one in the room right now.
How many hours you putting in?
You know, last night or yesterday, right before the bull ride, I played for about 2 hours with one of the bull riders as well. And yeah.
You know what he said earlier? He said, I play Fortnite, so I don't have to go to the bar. And I just realized, you're not old enough to go to the bar.
But, you know, I'd rather do that than
They
go
ride
party.
bulls in Canada, though, all right?
Okay, so in Canada, oh my gosh, don't even get me started.
What
there.
about the go-to meal before an event?
What meal? What'd you say?
Go-to, like food.
My go-to
to eat
meal?
before
Oh, I don't know. I'll eat anything. I'm a fat boy.
Okay. Bucking left or bucking right?
Bucking left or bucking right?
Like which way?
Like,
Oh,
do you
bucking
want
left.
the ball to go?
Left for sure. Yeah.
And what is the most embarrassing moment you've had in the arena?
One time, actually, as this season, is my second event win. I got off this bull, and I went to throw my helmet, and I tripped and fell. And it was pretty embarrassing for me, but
It was live on camera?
yeah, it was live. Everybody saw it.
In the dirt?
Yeah, I kind of fell backwards and hit the panels. I'm like, oh, dang it.
This dude got thrown into the fucking fence last night. Did you see that one? Who was
Yeah,
that?
it was like on the side.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know who that was. That was pretty rough.
It was like he got thrown into the fence
Yes.
hard.
What's your favorite country song you play while driving?
Man, I listen to Hudson Westbrook, Zach Top, them two. One of them two, right there. There you go.
Who would be your best the collab? A rapper country collab?
I don't know. Like we were talking about Lil Wayne. He could be a country.
Lil Wayne should put on the country hat. He'd crush it.
Oh yeah.
What's your lucky charm or superstition before you ride?
I don't have a lucky charm. One thing, superstition, I really don't have any. I just read my Bible, and if I don't read my Bible, I feel like I won't do good. So that's probably one of the things I do.
That's a good one.
I mean, I'd read the Bible too before I had to get on a bull.
Damn right.
Oh yeah, it's got to.
Is that it, Dan?
That is it
That's
from the
it.
sheet.
John, I think that we're kind of winding down, and I think we are going to go to a break soon. But, dude, it's a big night for you.
Yes, sir. I'm excited.
It's, let's Kill Switch?
Kill switch.
Kill Switch doesn't know what's going to hit him tonight.
You dang right. I'm
You're
excited.
going to get that 8 seconds. You're going to get those points, son.
Yes, sir. I'm
Get
excited.
that money. Keep getting that money.
I love the money.
Keep playing with that Fortnite. All right, thanks, dude. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
Yes, sir.
Thanks so much.
We'll be right back.
Yes, sir.
Good luck tonight.